Hi guys, my name's Jord Odell and you're listening to the SEGA Lounge.
Welcome to the SEGA Lounge, a podcast dedicated to our love for all things SEGA, be it the games, the music, or the community. I'm KC. In each episode, I'll be talking to different guests and sharing their projects and their passion for SEGA. Hello and welcome to the SEGA Lounge, everyone. First of all, I apologize for the lack of episode last week. Sometimes even the best laid plans fall apart, and scheduling interviews with people who have their own schedules and busy lives is not an easy task. Fortunately, we're back this week with a brand new episode, and even though the season is very close to the end, we still have a couple more interviews you won't want to miss. In podcast news, this week I'm delighted to tell you that the SEGA Lounge is now available on iHeartRadio. There are now very few podcast services where you can't listen to the show. So whether you're an iHeartRadio user or you use a totally different podcatcher, chances are you'll have the SEGA Lounge readily available to listen to. And now, on to this week's guest. This week I'm joined by Jordan, or Jord Odell, e-commerce and social media manager at SEGA Shop Europe, which includes both the UK and European storefronts. Jord is the marketing wizard that connects the fans and Numbskull, the people running the shop. She kindly agreed to have a chat with me about her career and her love for video games, and was also kind enough to let me put her through another brutal edition of the SEGA Lounge Challenge. Although, does anyone really have a choice? Hello, Jord. Welcome to the SEGA Lounge.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. As you know, before we started recording, you told me that you've been listening to a few of the latest episodes of the podcast, so you already know how this goes. I like to know my guests a little bit more before we get into, the reason they're here. So would you like to introduce yourself? Would you like to talk to us about your experience with video games, favorites and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. So I've basically been gaming my entire life, basically in one way or another. It was always like a way for me and my dad to bond. Like I can remember kind of being 5 years old and watching him play Half-Life on the computer, eating crab sticks. I think I had a weird thing with those when I was younger, apparently, as you do. Such an eclectic taste. And yeah, I've just always kind of bonded with my dad over games. I remember once my mum and dad actually forgot about me and I was left to play 101 Dalmatians till about 9 o'clock at night, which was super late at the time. And I just thought, you keep quiet, don't say anything, and they'll just let you crack on. And it got to the point where I was like, no, I'm tired now. I'll go and tell them that I'm still awake. And they were like, what are you doing? It's like, I was playing 101 Dalmatians. So it's always kind of been, always been a bit of a gamer in my life. Like, not the most technical of games, granted, 101 Dalmatians. But I remember my first console was the Dreamcast when I was about 7, 8 years old, maybe. And yeah, that kind of grew from my love of Sega. And then from there, I've always had a passion for it. Worked in marketing for various places and stumbled across the Sega shop and been working there for a while. And it's been going great.
Excellent story. So 101 Dalmatians. Don't diss Disney games. They're amazing, by the way. I haven't played that one, but most Disney games are very good. Was it on the Dreamcast?
No, I think this was on PC, actually. This was going back early 2000s. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So what about these days? Do you have time to play games?
Yeah, I always try and make time for it, especially with staying at home for pretty much the whole year. I
Yeah.
always try and carve out a bit of time for gaming. It's one of those things where if I get stuck into it, that's it. I'm lost for 4 or 5 hours. I can never just pick it up and have a casual game and leave it alone until the next day. Like my dad used to call me like a little zombie when I was gaming because you couldn't talk to me already. Think I'm in the zone. Leave me alone until I get out of it. So, but yeah, I'm still the way pretty much now. I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon recently that came out last week, and I think it's brilliant.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yes. I'll confess I'm a little bit tired today because I stayed up too late playing Like a Dragon yesterday.
Yeah,
Because
I can relate.
yeah, so for some reason I only got the game on Monday. For some reason, it got lost in post or something, and I didn't have time to play it on Monday. So yesterday was the first day that I actually put the disc on, updated, long update by the way, and updated the game, and then started playing. So it was very late when I went to bed, and yeah, I'm sleeping basically. So if I fell asleep or fall asleep during the interview, I'm sorry, Jord. But you will
That's fine.
understand, right? You will
Yeah,
understand.
I totally get that. I mean, I've been there so many times before, falling asleep, just zoning out, trying to recuperate myself. So I'll just shout or something; it'll be fine.
That's yeah. Do that. So yeah. So what kind of games you've been playing Yakuza Like Dragon? What kind of games would you? What kind of gamer are you today? What kind of games do you prefer? Do you
Um,
still have like an eclectic taste in games?
I think it kind of, I don't know really. I like all sorts of games. So I've been playing, yeah, like Yakuza the past week, but also been playing Ark, which is like an open world
Mm-hmm.
dinosaur survival game. Big fan of that. But then I love my horror games as well. So like The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
But then also on the complete flip side, I love my retro games. Like I've got a Game Boy SP that I brought earlier on in the year, and I'm obsessed with like Sonic Adventure 2 on it, Spyro, all the rest of it. So I kind of dip in and out of all sorts of games at the minute. I think I just kind of whatever takes my fancy on the day, I'll dip into it.
Yeah. I get you. That's great. Okay. So you already mentioned this briefly, but can you tell us a little bit how you ended up at Numbskull and running the PR social media side of things for the Sega shop?
Yeah, sure. So it was kind of a bit of a um I don't know what the word is, but a bit of a coincidence, maybe. I don't know. I think I was working in marketing for an insurance company early last year, and it was kind of one of those things where I don't think anyone really wants to fall into insurance, but there I was. And it's like, it was good. It was like, I loved a challenge, but it wasn't necessarily exciting. Like, it's worlds apart from gaming and films and all sorts of things that I love. You know, like, I don't think anyone's ever grown up and gone, oh, I really want to work in insurance. So I just had a moment one day and I was looking through LinkedIn and stumbled across Liam, that's one of the directors at Numbskull, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to try my luck. And looking back on it now, it was dead cheesy. The subject line was something like, player 2 has entered Numbskull, click here to hire now, kind of thing.
That's
Like,
amazing.
yeah. And yeah, luckily, bless him, he was really nice. He's a really lovely guy. Like, everyone at Numbskull was absolutely amazing. And he messaged me back. And I think a couple of days after that, I met the other director, Ben, had a quick chat and stuff. And it was all kind of go from there. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was great.
That first email was kind of an audition in itself, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I
Yeah, so
think if I couldn't grab his attention, then I wouldn't be doing my job properly.
you're perfect for this job. Yeah, marketing
Thank
is
you.
indeed your thing. That's great. So people may be asking right now, listening to this, what does Jord do at her job? So what does it entail? Does it involve working marketing for Sega Shop?
So it's a lot basically. I think you've got kind of working in marketing, especially for Sega Shop. Like the Sega community is amazing and they love Sega. It's all about Sega, as it should be. And going in like a day-to-day job, I do a lot of social media stuff, creating like assets and things like that. But I also work on upcoming ranges, which is very exciting. and it's a lot of like
Ooh.
working with emails. I know. And yeah, like putting together emails. But I think the biggest part of my job is the community side of things. Like, there's such a great community within the Sega Shop Europe guys that, like, I consider most of them my friends. Well, all of them my friends, really. And we have great like chat, and they give me inspiration. And I kind of take my day-to-day job on social media and see what people are talking about, see what people are asking, and I feed back to the design team. And the design team are great as well. Like, they're open to ideas, and they're all Sega fans themselves, which I think really helps. And it really helps to create like amazing ranges working with the community and the designers.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. So you make it sound like it's all rainbows and butterflies, but I'm sure there are challenges involved as well, especially since you're so involved with social media. And we know that social media is like a perfect place. Nothing bad happens in social media. So
Of course.
are, are there any, particularly challenging things about dealing with, because let's be honest, we're all Sega fans here, and our listeners, I'm assuming, are Sega fans as well. But the Sega community, being so big and diverse, also has people who are not that civil. So did you ever come across some of those more passionate people who cannot refrain themselves from, saying things in a, less polite manner? I'm being so polite right now.
I know. I like the whole passionate. I like that. I'm going to keep that for myself as well, actually. But yeah, I definitely come across passionate people, especially when I first started out. Like, I love Sega and I think I know it really well. But when you come into a job, especially social, like, you understand, like, no, there's so much more to learn, and people are very happy to teach you. I think, like, in particular, if I mention something and I've used the wrong GIF, like, everyone's the first to jump on it, and I say, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry guys, yeah, my bad." Like, but everyone's great. I've never come across anyone that's too passionate, to use your word.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. So I think that's the biggest challenge, is just getting the right thing across correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making no mistakes. So the biggest challenge is being perfect.
Yes, isn't it
Okay.
always?
I like the way that you said, the way that you mentioned this. It seems like it's educational in some way as well. So if you make a mistake, people will teach you. So that's a good way. Another polite way to say what happens in social media. We're
Yeah,
always being educated when we do or say something wrong.
exactly. Yeah, I like to see
Exactly.
like the positive things aside from it.
Of
And
course.
yeah, like, I think it's great in a way. People are so passionate and they love Sega so much that if you have got something that's not quite right, they'll tell you. And I think it's not always the worst thing, especially if people are nice and polite about it as well.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, by the way, something that I forgot before, and you just mentioned, we're all Sega fans. What
Yeah.
would you say are your favorite Sega franchises or games? If you could pick like a top 3 or something.
Free. Well, I think number one's obviously got to be Sonic the Hedgehog,
Mhm.
my main man, the blue bear. And so I really like Altered Beast as well. I
Okay.
think that's one of the earlier games that I remember playing on the Mega Drive, and I didn't get my first Mega Drive for quite a while. I'm a Dreamcast baby, but that was one of the first ones I played, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well. And
Mhm.
yeah, and Yakuza as well. Really enjoyed the series, and I like the new one's a standalone one as well. I think it keeps it fresh, and yeah, I've really enjoyed those games.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually this last one, Like a Dragon, is surprising me because I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I am. To be
Mm,
honest, not in paper is not my kind of game. So, but it's
yeah,
really really
no, it's
enjoyable.
different. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and the humor and stuff, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, I love it. I think they're all really likable characters. I think you can have a laugh with them, and they're all a bit silly. Yeah, it just adds a bit of fun to it. It's not just a typical
Yeah,
RPG. Everyone's
that's
got a bit of
true.
a character.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, awesome. Okay, So you've already mentioned some challenges, some good things. Would you like to tell us a little bit about other things? You already mentioned the process of picking some stuff from social media, from the fans, taking that to the designer team. How do you guys actually? What's the process like? So do you have to get permission from Sega for everything? Do you have some kind of creative freedom with things, or do you have to run everything across Sega at some point?
Yeah, so with new ranges, I think we're given quite like a lot of creative freedom with it all. We know what brands we want to work around and what products we want to create for that. Like I take feedback from the community as well of what you guys are looking for, which is always really handy. So we kind of take that feedback, create the range, and then we'll go to Sega. Like there's a really great team, a great guy at Sega as well that approves everything for us, and he gives us feedback. Like he's a massive, massive Sega fan, obviously, so he knows exactly what's going to work, what's not going to work, and we'll feed back to him, and he'll give us feedback as well, and we kind of go from there with it. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's quite a big process for it because obviously we don't want to get anything wrong. We want to make sure that it's something that the fans are really going to enjoy, and yeah, we don't want to let anybody down with it.
Of course, of course. Otherwise, you'll have to be educated and
Exactly.
by those passionate people.
Exactly.
So, what kind of time frame are we talking about here? Because I'm imagining, most times when we're on the other side of things, we just think it's make this and the next day it's done. But obviously, there's a process behind all of this. You just described a few of the steps. How much time is involved in, like, for example, having a good idea and then getting approval and making it available on the Sega shop? It probably
uh,
varies, but
yeah, so it varies quite a bit because there's different places that we need to go and get it taken to approval and stuff like that.
hmm
But on average, it probably takes 2 to 3 months for a
hmm
range. So we recently released our Christmas range, and we were planning that back in July. So
Okay.
we were getting all festive months and months ago, with our designs and things like that. So it does take quite a while. It's not a case of, oh, this would be cool, let's do it. It's yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes behind everything that we make, and a lot of time as well. But I think it
hmm
pays off in the end. I think
Yeah.
we've got a really strong lineup of stuff.
Excellent. I agree. I agree. I actually think it's working out really well for you guys and for the fans, obviously. So it's great. Um, has been working from home now. Has it helped or hindered your work in some way? Has
Uh,
it been affecting it somehow?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think a lot of my work is like just working on a computer anyway. So whether it's in the office or whether it's home, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I did used to go into the Sega Europe head offices quite a lot, which was always fun. And like their offices are super fun as well. They've got Sonic stuff everywhere and this giant Sonic statue as well that I'm obsessed with. So from that aspect, like I do miss that side of things, but working from home, luckily, it hasn't hindered me that much. And because it's like loads of it is on social media as well, it's sometimes I can even do it on my phone. And
Okay.
like I'm the worst for working from home anyway. In the evenings, I'll be scrolling through the social media anyway when I'm at home chilling out. So yeah, it's not been too bad.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. You mentioned the Christmas range that is already available. Any other highlights from recent ranges, recent products that you've been putting out on the Sega shop that you would like to mention for people listening to us? So let's say someone just listening to this is being made aware of the Sega shop. They didn't know there was a Sega shop at all. They've been living under a rock. What would you suggest they would check out first?
I think for sure the Sonic the Hedgehog tubs, if you haven't seen those before, there's something that came out in the shop earlier this year, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. They're basically rubber ducks that are cosplaying as Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles, Dr. Eggman, and Tails, which sounds wild and they look wild, but I think they're great. And they're basically these collectible figures, and they come in these bathtubs as well, so you can stack them up and you can collect them all. And I think they're probably like the weirdest product that I've ever seen, but they've worked really well. Like Sonic looks adorable, Tails looks great, Dr. Eggman works really well as well. So yeah, I definitely think people should check those out. And then we've got the new series of Pin Kings as well that's come out recently that we've added a load of new pins to. So we've recently released the console range with the Mega Drive, Saturn and Dreamcast pin badges, and we've also got some Christmas pin badges as well based on Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic that I think are really cool.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So those are some good suggestions that people can check out on the Sega shop. One thing that people should know is that you're working specifically with the European Sega shop, so UK and Europe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we have a lot of listeners from the US. Unfortunately, what we're mentioning here, you may have a different experience with the US Sega shop, so but maybe this will give you some ideas or things to browse on the US shop.
Yeah, definitely. The US shop's great as well. They've got a load of different items that we don't stock, unfortunately, but their range is almost as good, I'd say.
I like the monthly pins, though.
I
like
they're
those. Great. Yes.
It's such a good idea.
Make it happen, Jord.
I'm working on it.
I'm being passionate right now.
Yeah, do it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Awesome. Okay, so Jord, very good summary of what we can expect from the Sega shop. We're going to take a quick break, okay?
Cool.
And you know what comes next, so it's not a surprise for you because you've been listening to previous episodes.
But, gold, yeah.
Yeah, so, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with something different. Okay. What could it be? We'll see. This episode of the Sega Lounge is sponsored by Podpage. Let me be frank, I have no web dev skills whatsoever. When I thought of bringing back the Sega Lounge as a podcast earlier this year, I started looking for a way to create a good-looking and functional website for it. I was able to find different options and even some for free, but they either were lacking in features that I wanted to have or were not directly aimed at podcast creators. That's when I heard of Podpage, which was still in its beta stages at that time. Not only was it at its inception already a great way to create and customize a podcast-centric website, but as the weeks went by, new features were added that improved upon the original concept. And the awesome part is it continues to get new features every month. Not only that, but you get top-tier customer service from the creator of Podpage himself. I highly recommend Podpage, and if you're looking for a way to create a professional podcast website, you can check it out by going to thesegalounge.com/podpage. Try it for free with your own podcast by going to thesegalounge.com/podpage. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're here with Jord. Jord, are you okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think I am.
You think you are?
I've been preparing.
Ooh, but for what? That is the question. That is the question.
Yeah. Cool.
How can you prepare for something you don't know what will be? It's difficult.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Now that you know our guests, it's time to put them to the test. It's the moment we've waited for, and the moment they dread.
Welcome to your doom.
I mean, welcome to the Sega Lounge Challenge.
It's the Sega Lounge Challenge, but what is the Sega Lounge Challenge this week? Well, Are you familiar with Sega music?
Yes, I'd like to think so.
Awesome. It's not related to Sega music. Uh, it's a quiz, actually. If I had known that, I would have made a musical quiz, but no, it's a quiz with 10 questions, as per usual. It's something I like to call the Sega Shop Brand Challenge.
Hey.
So all of the questions here have something to do with one of the brands in the Sega Shop. So one of the franchises, the Sega franchises, that are featured in the Sega Shop currently.
Okay.
So we will test your knowledge of Sega stuff.
Cool.
So
Okay.
that's a little bit generic. It's Sega stuff. What is it? It's stuff. Okay. How much Sega are you? Are you very Sega? Little Sega? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just get on with this. Are you ready for the 10 questions I have here, Jord?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with an easy one. So 10 questions, 1 point each. At least I think 6 points is acceptable, right?
Okay.
More than half.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think so. So question number 1. Let's start with an easy one. Okay.
Yeah.
What milestone anniversary is Sega celebrating this year with a campaign titled Go Sega?
Oh, that's Sega's 60th anniversary. 60 years of Sega.
So you're saying in 2020, this year, Sega are celebrating 60 years of existence.
Yep, definitely.
So they
She says.
So 60th anniversary, so 1960?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's what I'm going with, yeah.
Your answer is correct, of course. Of course.
Yay.
Yay. It's an easy one, but you'll still have to go through me, so that's the challenging part sometimes. Okay. Number 2. This is a Shenmue question. Are you familiar with Shenmue?
Fairly.
Have you played?
Yeah.
Yeah, barely. Okay. Have you played any of the games?
Oh, I have not.
Okay.
Gonna hear a load of boos for that, I think.
It's okay. It's okay. Some people haven't played the greatest game of all time, so it's okay. I don't know what this question, how you'll find this question, but let's see. In the original Shenmue game, so as you probably know, there are 3 games now. In the original one, Shenmue 1, there's a character called Nozomi. So she's a girl.
Yeah.
In the game, Nozomi helps her grandmother run what kind of shop?
Oh no.
I have 3 options if you need them.
I think I might need them if that's okay.
Okay. So option A, a flower shop. Option B, a clothing store. Option C, an antique shop. What kind of shop does Nozomi help her grandmother run in Shenmue 1?
I think I'll go with C, the antique shop.
The antique shop. Why?
I just feel like that would be a good aesthetic. It's either that or A, the flower shop. I don't know. I can imagine her helping with a cute little nan in an antique shop, everything all crowded. Maybe. And I feel like the Phoenix mirror has something to do with it, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be talking rubbish.
Well, the Phoenix mirror definitely has something to do with Shenmue, so
yeah.
You're not far off. So, just to lock this in, Jord, option C, antique shop.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
That is locked in. Locked in right there. The Phoenix mirror doesn't have anything to do with Nozomi, though. I'll tell you that. But I'll tell you that she doesn't work in a clothing store? The correct answer is A. Flower shop.
Oh.
Oh.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's a flower shop. She's
Yeah,
a sweet girl that works in a flower shop.
I can see.
Okay, no worries. 1 out of 2. Not bad so far. We still have lots more to come. Ready for question 3?
Yep.
Yeah. Question 3, Jord. In Yakuza 0, have you played Yakuza 0?
Yes, ages ago.
Yes, ages ago. Maybe the question here is there are no options, so you'll have to tell me the answer yourself. But maybe this moment in the game stood out for you. Let's see. In Yakuza 0, upon completing a sub-story and a challenge, you can obtain a chicken, which you then can, of course, assign as a manager in the real estate minigame. Of course, you can have a chicken running, a real estate business. What's the name of the chicken?
Oh no. This is impossible.
And if you don't know, I would advise you to think what would be, an appropriate name for a chicken that ran a real estate business.
Oh god. Okay.
I don't think this helps, but okay.
I'm trying to think.
What would you call the chicken?
What I call the chicken that runs a real estate
I don't know.
company? A cooper? Is it a chicken coop? A chicken house?
That makes sense. That's the first answer that anyone has given me that makes sense.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna have to go with that. I have no idea.
So your answer would be Cooper.
Yeah.
As in a chicken coop.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Final answer?
Yeah. I think it's gonna have to be.
Okay. Surprisingly, Cooper is not the correct answer.
Aww.
The correct answer was Nugget.
Nugget. Oh, that's
Nugget.
so obvious.
Nugget the chicken.
Nugget the chicken. That's adorable. Should have known that.
Best Yakuza character ever.
Oh
Nugget.
yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the multiple choice questions. Number 4 is a Golden Axe question. Okay, another brand, another Sega franchise featured in the Sega shop.
Cool.
Which of the following is not a game in the Golden Axe series? We're looking for the game that is not a real game.
Okay.
Option A, Golden Axe Beast Rider. B, Golden Axe Warrior. C, Golden Axe Resurrection of Death Adder. Which one is not a game?
Can I go with C?
You can go with whichever you like.
Yeah, C. I think isn't a Golden Axe game.
Golden Axe Resurrection of Death Adder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, Golden Axe Beast Rider and Golden Axe Warrior are real games that exist,
I think so. Yeah.
but not Resurrection of Death Adder.
No.
Any particular reason why?
Just because I think the other two, their titles make sense. Because you have the beast, you ride the beast in the game, and then the second one, I can't remember.
Warrior?
Warrior, yeah. I think that makes sense as well.
What about the Resurrection of Death Adder? Death Adder is actually the main villain
Yeah,
in Golden Axe. Couldn't he be resurrected?
he could be, yeah. I feel like I'm going to change my answer.
So final answer is?
I'm going to change it to B. So I think B might not be it.
Warrior?
Yeah.
There is a warrior. Actually, they're all warriors as well.
Yeah. I'm doing terribly. Maybe it's A.
Okay, so I will let you keep your original answer. Okay, because otherwise I would be a terrible host. The correct answer is C. Golden Axe, Resurrection of Death Adder.
You really got me going there. I thought, oh god, I'm going to fail another question.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
You're a cruel game master.
Exactly. Okay, so good job. 2 points so far. We have 6 more that you can get. You need 4. You can get the minimum score of 6.
Cool.
Number 5, Jord. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
No, you're not. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Mega Drive was released worldwide on a Tuesday in 1992. That release day was known as Sonic Tuesday. What day was Sonic 2 released on?
What day was Sonic 2 released on?
Was it Tuesday in 1992? But what exact day was it?
Oh, God. Was it July? Or was it early July, maybe?
I will give you another hint. So, we were very close to that date, to Sonic 2's birthday. Haven't gotten there yet, but it's very, very close.
It's on the 19th of November, is it?
So, full disclosure, we're recording this on the 18th of November. So you're thinking tomorrow is the birthday, the anniversary of the release day of Sonic 2.
Potentially.
Okay, I need an answer, Jord.
Yeah, I'll go
19th of November.
I'll go with the 19th of November, yeah.
1992.
Yeah.
Was it a Tuesday?
Who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
Who knows?
Okay. Year 1992. Month November. Day of the week Tuesday. The actual day was 24th, which is actually a Tuesday this year as well. So we'll have another Sonic Tuesday next week, next Tuesday. Actually,
that's great.
That was the correct answer, unfortunately. Okay.
No,
from now on, all questions are multiple choice.
Cool.
So I think these will help. Let's see. Jord, question number 6. Ready?
Yeah.
Streets of Rage. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. In Streets of Rage, you can check the bios of all playable characters, which include their favorite hobbies. What is Blaze's hobby according to her bio in Streets of Rage 1? What does she like to do? Option A, playing video games. Option B, dancing the lambada. Option C, horseback riding.
I think I'm going to go with B. Dancing the lambada.
For any particular reason?
I think A was for a different character, and C doesn't resonate with me at all. But now it's going to be C because I've said that. So,
do you have anything against horses?
No, nothing against horses. I'm going to get all the passionate people now. We love horses.
Let us teach you about horses. So option B,
Yeah, I think it's option B.
dancing the lambada.
Yeah.
Jord, your answer is correct. Yes,
Yay!
yes, it is. It is. No one likes to go horseback riding, apparently, in Streets of Rage. I just made that up. You're right.
Yeah.
Playing video games, I think it's Axel.
Axel, yeah. That's
Yeah,
the
and yeah, you're right. You're completely and utterly correct.
one. Awesome.
Okay, we're getting there. 3 points. Only 3 more to go.
Cool.
Question number 7. Mega Drive is the lineup we're talking about here, or the range. Which of the following games was not part of the launch lineup of Mega Drive in Europe in 1990? Which of the following games was not part of the launch lineup of Mega Drive in Europe? Option A, Tommy Lasorda Baseball, also known as Super League. Option B, Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf. Option C, World Cup Italia 90, aka World Championship Soccer. So we have a baseball game, a golf game, or a football or soccer game. Which one was not part of the launch lineup of the Mega Drive in Europe?
I think I want to go with A. Just based on the fact that baseball's a very American game. So I don't think they would have launched with a baseball game in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. But I think that's just a guess.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Although it's very popular in Japan.
That's true.
And if they had the game already, why not?
That is true. So maybe it was golf. I don't know how popular golf is in Japan.
I don't either. So, final answer, Jord.
Yeah, final answer. I'll stick with A. Final answer.
So, okay, let's take a look at all the options. World Cup Italia 90 was, of course, a launch game for the Mega Drive in Europe. And then golf or baseball. Good thing you stuck with your original answer because the correct answer was A.
Awesome.
Baseball. Tommy Lasorda Baseball, aka Super League, was not a Mega Drive launch title in Europe. Well done.
Hey. Cool.
Yes. Good job. Good job.
Not too bad.
Good job. And you didn't give in to pressure either. That's great.
I know. I think I'm quite a strong character based on this quiz.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
not conceding.
Exactly. Okay, question 8. Almost there. Yakuza. What is the real name of the Yakuza series character whose nickname is the Mad Dog of Shimano?
Oh.
Do you actually know this, or have you heard of this nickname? Does it ring a bell?
Yeah, it rings a bell. I'm trying to think
Okay.
about...
3 options.
Yeah.
If you need them. If you don't need them, just tell me.
I'll go with the options. I'll play
Okay.
it safe.
So 3 options. Option A, Kazuma Kiryu. Option B, Akira Nishikiyama. Option C, Goro Majima. Probably butchered all of these names, but okay.
It's fine. I'm trying to remember them, to be fair.
So, is it Kiryu, Nishikiyama, or Majima?
I think I'll go with B.
So, Akira Nishikiyama.
Yes, I think so.
Does it ring a bell to you, this name?
Yeah, it rings a bell. And I know the other ones as well. And I don't think they were Mad Dog.
Okay. When you think about this nickname, what do you think? What kind of personality does the person have?
I imagine him being quite a loose cannon, quite one of the characters that doesn't listen to anything that anybody else says. They're kind of like the wild card of the group, and they go around causing a bit of havoc.
Okay. And so, out of the three, your answer is
B, please.
B.
Yeah.
B, please.
B, please.
B, please. Could be. Well, I will tell you that Kiryu is not the correct answer. Kiryu is known as the Dragon of Dojima.
That's it.
Not the Mad Dog of Shimano. Between the other two. So, Majima is that guy with only one eye.
Yeah.
Right? And Nishikiyama is, I think this is. I won't spoil the game or the games for anyone, but it's in Yakuza 0, you know him as the Kiryu's best friend and stuff. The correct answer, Jord Odell of Sega Shop Europe of Numbskull is C. Goro Majima. Majima is indeed the loose cannon of the group.
Yeah.
Yes, the crazy one.
Should have known it.
The mad dog of Shimano.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, 4 points with two more questions to go. We can still do this.
It's okay. I get everyone right from now on.
Of course.
Be fine.
Number 9, Alex Kidd. Which of the following is not one of the several Alex Kidd crossovers and spin-offs, in spin-off games? Okay, so which one is not a game that is a crossover with other series or a spin-off game? So basically, which one is not real, okay?
Okay.
A. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. B. Alex Kidd in the Golden Axe. C. Alex Kidd BMX Trial. One of these things is not like the other.
Okay. I feel like it could be the last one, just because I can see it in my head.
Okay.
And Shinobi as well. I think there was a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
But B, I can't see that. I don't think I've heard of that. With
The
Alex
Golden
Kidd
Axe.
and Golden Axe, yeah.
Alex Kidd and the Golden Axe.
Yeah. I think that would be my answer. I don't think there was a crossover with Alex Kidd and Golden Axe.
So Alex Kidd in Shinobi World makes sense.
To me, yeah.
BMX Trial makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Golden Axe, no.
No. But now I'm not sure. But I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, so final answer, right?
Yeah.
Alex
Final
Kidd in
answer.
the Golden Axe is not a real game.
No.
Your answer is correct. Yes.
Yay.
Good job. It is not a real game. I just made that up. Alex
Would be
Kidd in
great,
Shinobi. It would be. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. It is indeed a crossover. And BMX Trial as well. So it's like a spin-off. So yeah, cool. It's indeed just like a BMX game.
Yeah, cool.
Very good. Very good. So 1 question left. 1 point left as well.
It's a close one.
It's a close one. Number 10. What is the name of the final boss of Sonic's story in Sonic Adventure? Have you played Sonic Adventure?
I have, yes.
Okay. A long time ago.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
so long ago. A long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
Okay. So there are 6 stories, right? And each character has its own story. Sonic story, right? Final boss. Is it A, Egg Viper, B, Egg Hornet, or C, Egg Walker? Which one is the final boss? The name of the final boss.
I think I want to go with Egg Hornet as the final boss.
Mm-hmm. Why?
because I think I remember.
Mhm.
I think I remember Hornet. Like I can see it in my head.
So I will tell you that all of these are real boss names in Sonic Adventure. Maybe even names of bosses that you play against with Sonic as well.
Yeah.
But only one of them is the final boss of Sonic's story before you get the final story, the Supersonic story. So
Yeah, I think I
which
would
one
have.
would be like, I don't know, the most menacing or the worst? I don't know.
I think the Egg Hornet would be the worst one.
Mhm.
I imagine that's the final boss because you don't want to mess with a Hornet. Like a Bumblebee, yeah, I love you. You're fine. A Wasp, but a Hornet, you don't want to mess with a Hornet. So on that logic, I think he's the final one.
Mhm. Okay. So final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Final answer. Why not Egg Walker, by the way?
I feel like Egg Walker's quite
Not
an
too
early level
menacing?
one. No, not too menacing.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think he's quite easy.
So there is no way I can change your mind, right?
No, I'm going to stand
No.
my ground. I've
Okay.
learnt.
Okay. Sometimes you shouldn't, but sometimes you should. Who knows what will happen? So Egg Walker is not the correct answer. Egg Walker is actually the final boss in Tails' story. Okay.
Cool.
Although not really that menacing in name, but it's the final boss for Tails. Egg Hornet is one of the bosses that you fight as Sonic, and so is Egg Viper. Egg Walker, Sonic doesn't fight. So which one? Viper or Hornet? The correct answer is Jord, Odell. For glory. To keep away the passionate fans.
Oh, I can hear him screaming already.
The correct answer was A. Egg
Oh,
Viper.
Thinking about it, a Viper's way more threatening than a Hornet.
Yes, it was the I don't know. It kind of depends. It's bigger, at least. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Which one is the worst? We'll never know. But for Sonic's story and Sonic Adventure, the worst one was really Egg Viper. Okay,
Viper.
but no worries. I think you did a great job considering how tense this was. And so, even though you got 5 points, so that's amazing, I think. And so
Not
that
too
means not too bad. I don't think so. So you get the official Sega Lounge seal of approval, which I will send to you right now on Twitter. You should be getting it
Yay!
soon. It is a real thing, and you should be very proud of our little seal of
Oh.
approval.
I love that. That's my favourite. I'm going to get that printed and stuck on my wall ASAP. He's great.
Yes, a little seal giving you his approval.
I love that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to play this silly game. Thank you for doing your best and
Oh, my
being
pleasure.
such a good sport. So, Jord, how can people, get more info on Sega Shop? Even get in touch with you and suggest things if they want. How can they do that?
Yeah, so the best way if you want to check out any of our products is to go on www.segashop.eu or .co.uk if you're from the UK. And we're on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Sega Shop Europe. It's me behind all the socials, so if anyone has any suggestions for new products or anything like that, drop me a message on there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Passionate and non-passionate people alike.
And please don't mention this challenge. It was
And no.
brutal.
No, we never
So
speak of this
don't.
again.
Not again. Only the Alex kid in the golden Axe. That
And
was yes, that was a good guess. So let's stick with that and forget all the rest.
Yeah.
Okay. anything we can ask about what's coming soon to the Sega shop, even if it's just very, very generic? What can we expect from the Sega shop in the upcoming weeks and months?
I think coming up for the Sega shop, I can't speak too much about it, but I like to drop hints on our social media channels like a week in advance. So it's always worth keeping an eye out on those. I'm quite obvious with my hints as well, so people tend to get them anyway, which I think is great. But yeah, we've got an absolutely crazy 2021 planned. We've got so many ranges and launches and new fun products coming out as well, some of which I haven't seen anywhere, that's never been done before, and they're coming to Sega Shop Europe throughout the next year. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really good year for loads of different brands as well. We're going to get some new stuff going as soon as we can, so it's going to be great.
Intriguing. So get your wallets ready, people. Get your money ready. Yes. and also, although the hints are quite, obvious sometimes, it's usually the answer is not a Dreamcast 2, people, okay? So usually, when in doubt, it's not, okay? So
as much as I would love Dreamcast 2, just like the rest of you, no.
When in doubt, no.
Not the Dreamcast 2.
Not the Dreamcast 2, no. Not a new console. Usually, no. Okay. Jord, final question, as per usual, on the Sega Lounge. It's regarding blast processing. Are you familiar with the concept of blast processing?
I'm not, no.
Okay. So, in the 90s, Sega said that the Mega Drive, or specifically the Genesis in the US, had blast processing, something that made it more powerful than the competition. Faster, more powerful, okay?
Yeah.
So if you could, it's some people say it's a real thing. It's probably not a real thing, but okay, more like a marketing gimmick. But if you could add blast processing, let's say it's a real thing, and you could add blast processing to anything in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh.
Something that needs to be more powerful or quicker or faster, whatever.
Can I apply it to myself?
Anything.
Like an ultimate cup of coffee. Just, yeah, that's a point. Can I add it to my coffee in the morning? That'd be great. Just sprinkle a little bit of blast processing in my cup of coffee and whoosh, I'm good to go.
Ooh. So would that be like powdered blast processing? Like, like in a jar?
Imagine, like a stevia kind of thing, maybe.
Okay. Instead of sugar, you could use blast processing.
A bit of blast processing.
Stir it and it's good to go. Okay. That's a good idea. Coffee, now with 100% more blast processing.
Yes, love it.
Blast processed beans.
Blast processed beans, yeah.
That's
Throw
a great
out the
answer.
percolators, yeah.
Okay, Jord, thank you very much again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so for your work on the Sega shop as well, bringing us the news and all these new ideas as well. It's great that we can buy these things and get poor while doing it.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Yes, drain us all of our money. But again, thank you very much, and hopefully you can come back in the future and talk about more things, and maybe we'll do another challenge or something. Yeah,
no, that would be lovely. It was lovely speaking to you, and I'll be more prepared for the quiz next time, hopefully.
Maybe I shouldn't mention that as an incentive. I don't think that's an incentive to come back. We'll do another challenge.
Okay. Yeah, I'll redeem myself.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jord.
Thank you.
Many thanks to Jord Odell for coming on the show. Be sure to check out the Sega shop, be it the UK or European versions, and try your best not to spend a whole lot of money on all the cool stuff they have available. As a reminder to my non-European friends, everything you heard today applies to the European store only. Maybe we can get someone from the US Sega shop on the show in the future. On a more personal note, I've been thoroughly enjoying Yakuza Like a Dragon, and while I wasn't going to do it at first, I'm preparing a review of the game as well as a special interview to be aired very soon, so stay tuned for that. If you've been playing Like a Dragon too, let me know on Twitter, @TheSegaLounge, and remember that we have a built-in voicemail feature in our website, so you can also use that to contact me. Just go to thesegalounge.com. Your message might make it into a future show. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you have a fun, safe week wherever you are. Enjoy some video games if you can, and be sure to come back next time we open the doors of the Sega Lounge. Take care. Bye-bye. The Sega Lounge, hosted by me, KC, and part of Radio Sega's network of live shows and podcasts. Theme song and incidental music by OSC. Find them at opussciencecollective.bandcamp.com. Got any suggestions? Drop me an email to podcast@thesegalounge.com. Follow us on Twitter @thesegalounge and like us at facebook.com/thesegalounge. You can find previous episodes of the show by going to thesegalounge.com and wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.